So Abby inadvertently offended a couple of you guys yesterday. Kristen, you want to lead us through this? Because I think that you probably have a perspective on this that the rest of us in here would not have.
I do. So I went to social media yesterday, primarily Instagram, and going through and liking the Bert Show post, and I saw the video got posted of Abby's prank she pulled on us yesterday. And I looked at the comments and I clocked those and I hit up Bert and I said, hey, I would really like to address some of the comments. And there weren't a ton, but there were some of those who are in the TTC club, that's Trying to Conceive Club, who were offended by Abby's break yesterday. And Abby, I'm going to let you describe what you did yesterday as your gotcha moment for us.
So I tried to pull off a prank yesterday that was well-intentioned of trying to reveal that I was expanding my family. And by expanding my family, I mean, I got a second cat. I'm a single woman who lives alone with one cat. And I brought in 2 envelopes. One envelope had a fake sonogram, and the other revealed that it wasn't a sonogram of a person. It was just like a cat sonogram. And it was basically just trying to make everyone think that I was pregnant, but I wasn't pregnant. I just bought a cat.
Gotcha. And man, Cassie fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
You sure did. That was really wishful thinking.
I mean, I was just ready for hopefulness and happiness, and I was so excited to go through this journey with you.
No, you were not. Misery loves company, bitch. Own it.
No, I was genuinely excited. I was tearing up.
So, Cassie, I don't know. Do we have some of the comments? Did I hear Bert say that, or are we just addressing that there?
Can we not read them?
No, that's fine. No. And I figured that was the case. But yeah, so there, and I saw some of the comments for women who are going and dealing with infertility. And so I, as somebody who has gone through that, wanted to address those comments in Abby's prank. So as a member of the TTC Club myself, I want to address the comments. And again, there weren't a ton. And it was on Abby's pregnancy prank video. And this is a tricky one because I don't believe we should be telling people how they should feel. They are entitled to their own feelings and emotions. So I figured I'll just tell you and share how that break affected me in the moment, okay? So first, to be honest, I knew Abby wasn't pregnant from the outset, but I wasn't going to poo-poo her break. She had what she believed to be a fun break planned to break the news she's getting a new kitten, who is adorable, by the way.
Very cute cat.
Abby was thinking with her radio brain, and which I appreciate. Abby has a very high radio IQ. We are very lucky to have her on the Bert Show. So here it is for me, the play-by-play from my mic during that break. So Abby passed out the first envelope with the sonogram, and I opened it up, and I'm not going to lie, my stomach sank. And quickly for new listeners, my husband and I had fertility struggles. We did 2 rounds of IVF to get our miracle baby, Jimmy. I documented all of this on air. Reminder, Abby was not here for any of this, so she didn't hear any of that. So, and this is happening like real time on the air, and it's my brain is pinging, like it's going a million miles a second. So seeing that sonogram was a really stark reminder that my fertility fate was decided for me. It was a hard pill for me to swallow that I would never carry another child, because I can't. Secondary infertility is a thing. You can be grateful for your first, but mourn the loss of a second. Jimmy won't have a biological sibling, and I think he would be such a good brother. And so that's, it's difficult. And I want to reiterate, I was euphoric and over the moon when we were successful on our second round of IVF and had a beautiful, healthy baby boy. I am beyond grateful. But remember, you can have two feelings can exist at the same time. So again, mind you, I'm holding the sonogram on air and all this is going through my head at that time. And so that happens, like those are the initial thoughts, and then I stopped. And I had IVF success, so that does skew my viewpoint. But I stopped and remembered, this is not about me. Abby's doing a funny bit. She is not trying to make me feel bad. I am responsible for how I feel. Abby is not. Everybody is going through something. And I think we can find offense in literally anything anybody does. And I think as long as you know the person and where it's coming from, that's a different story. So I'm sure I have a different take. I'm sure I had a different take when my fertility struggles first started, but this is where I am now. in my infertility journey. And for Abby, I by no means am telling you what you should feel or what you should do. Personally, I don't think you owe anybody an apology. I do think this is a learning experience for all. And bottom line, we can be kind, we can be thoughtful, we can expose ourselves to different situations so we can get educated, which is what I was hoping to do when I chronicled my fertility journey. With education comes understanding, with understanding comes empathy. Bottom line, you didn't hurt my feelings.
Okay, well, I'm glad. And I understand where everyone's coming from that left. And I specifically don't go to our social media pages because that stuff I think can... sometimes I need it run through a filter of something like this before I can react to it. And I understand infertility is devastating. And so we talk a lot about intent versus impact. And, I can talk about my intent all day long, but the reality is a lot of people saw that and were impacted in a negative way. And so I am going to apologize if it hit somebody, in the wrong way. It was not my intention. And I hope that means something.
Sure.
But at the same time, I understand that somebody saw that and it didn't make them feel good. And that's tough as somebody who only wants to entertain and make people laugh. And it just didn't hit everybody the way that I hoped it would.
Let me just correct one thing. It wasn't a lot. It was a few.
It was a very few amount.
Yeah, well, it was very few amount.
I also got some DMs too. And I think sometimes when people are really hurt, they start to use the source of that as a punching bag. Mm-hmm. And so I think when you're hit a couple of times, I'm trying to be more sensitive than I would be if I hadn't.
So let me say the same thing that I think I've probably said now for a decade, but maybe louder the last couple of years as woke culture is definitely a thing now. It is very difficult to entertain in any way, shape, or form now in woke culture. We are a morning radio show. Our priority is to keep it fun. We cannot try to schedule a show thinking, okay, maybe a couple of people are going to be offended by this or this or this. That's not even our responsibility. I am not dismissing those that were offended by that. Mm-hmm. I can't even imagine the pain that goes. I can't imagine it actually because Kristen told us about it for a couple of years.
One of your best friends went through it.
Right, for sure. So I'm not dismissing that, but I am saying this, that none of these jokes that we ever make are intended to hurt. And the world can't cater to what's going on in your life. It just can't. And I'm sorry that you went through that. And I'm not even talking about infertility. Whatever you're going on, is going on in your life. If we are joking about other things and it is attached to you, we cannot cater to what is going on in your life. Like I don't expect you to cater to what's going on in my life. This is the radio show that we do. If you've listened to us for long enough, you know that we are never ill-intended. Ever, ever, ever. But we are here to make jokes and make people laugh. And with that, when you make jokes, somebody is always the victim. It can't be done. Mm-hmm. It can't be done without that. So I'm not exactly sure what else to say about that. And I don't want to sound like a jerk about it, but I also don't want to totally give into this woke culture that seems to be in the entertainment field and on everybody's mind, which really is, it's a damn buzzkill.
As a comedian, I can assure y'all, I have tried numerous amounts of ways to come up with how to entertain and be funny without insulting anyone. I can assure you it's impossible.
It can't
be done, man.
I think it just takes the audience realizing that, not everything is about you. Not everything is targeted at you. Not everything is directed at you. Not everything is an attack on you, I think most importantly. And, so congratulations on Betty. She's adorable.
She's a sweet little baby kitty.
The Bert Show.